Awesome. As a teacher of martial arts, the first question everyone asks me is, what do I like doing in my spare time? Well, I like to cook. Second of all, they ask me, what do I like to eat? So normally on a Saturday, I like to have a steak. So this is going to show you how I cook my steak and enjoy my meal on a Saturday night. I hope you enjoy it. First and foremost, it's either got to be a good New Zealand or Australian steak, or even better, if you can get a Japanese Wagyu. I don't like to cook my steaks too long, so what I do is I cut them while I'm cooking them into smaller pieces. If you notice to the right of me in the little pan, I've got some garlic which I'm frying and a little bit of olive oil. You'll see why I need this, because it will add flavour to the steak later on. Just look at that. It's cutting through nice and easy, and by the time I cut it and cook it into smaller pieces, it will be perfect. Careful not to overcook the garlic, and you need to get some tomatoes and mix them in there. Cut them nice and small and make sure the juice is there. Shove a little bit of olive oil with it. You can never put enough herbs in. I love the seasoning, the Italian seasoning, similar to they put on pizzas. You can never have enough. I like to use the Himalayan salt on the steak. Put a little bit more on there, and then we'll put a little bit more olive oil on the hot plate, and then make sure the steak's cooked to how you want it. I've got students all around the world. It'd be a great idea if the branch chiefs in all the different countries like Morocco, Iran, New Zealand, Australia, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Japan, if you all cooked a meal one day that's like what you'd use in your country, it'd be great for the rest of the world to try it out and get to see a little bit of the culture on how you cook. Okay, we're getting ready now. The steak's almost ready to how I like it. Gonna stick a little bit more Himalayan salt on, and then we're going to take it and we're gonna put it in and mix it with the tomatoes and the garlic so that we get the taste and the flavoring of the tomatoes. But first of all, there's something missing, and that's onions. We've got to have onions. Check, see if it's cooked. Oh, yeah. I like to select the pieces as they're cooked. I put them on a chopping board before I put them in with the tomatoes and the garlic. Yeah, wouldn't it be great? Just think about it. If we could sit and watch Facebook and see how someone in Morocco cooks their food, or how somebody in India cooks their food, it'd be great. And we could always experiment in our own homes, in our own countries. Actually, when I was in Iran, this branch chief, Shihan Salahi and Shihan Mehdi took me and Junior to a really beautiful restaurant, and the food was amazing. The Iranian food is awesome. It'd be great one day to see how somebody cooks that food, and try and cook it ourselves in our own countries. That would be a great thing. Okay, now the steak's almost ready to how I like it. So I've moved it off onto the board, and I'll now start mixing it in with the tomatoes and the garlic and a little bit of olive oil. Actually, I have a really good friend who's a 2-star Michelin chef. His name's Harlan Goldstein. Man, the guy can cook. And I wish one day that I could cook like that. In actual fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and get him to come over to my house next weekend and get him to cook us a meal on a Saturday and let you all see, and we'll do it live, because the guy is amazing, and he's cooked for stars like Keanu Reeves, Jackie Chan, and all these people. Okay, we're ready to start mixing it. I think I'm going to need some onions, but anyway, let's put the steak in with it first. Oh, you can almost smell it now. And the reason I like to do this is nothing particular, except I get a really nice, I love the taste of the tomato juice and the garlic soaking in through the steak. And then I'll throw some more seasoning on it and it will be perfect. Cut some onions. Well, we're going to put the onions in with it. Steak's not a steak without onions, and it's a great antioxidant. So I like to get a nice big onion, take the skin off, the first layer of skin, and chop it up. Not small pieces. I like to put the rings in there and mix the rings in with the tomatoes and the garlic. I don't know, I think it's something I like to just look at the onions and see them there. When you chop them up really fine, it just doesn't look the same to me. So we cut them in the rings like this, just with small stripes, just like that. And then what we're going to do, that's probably about enough there now. Then what we'll do is we take them and we'll just dice them a little bit, just like that. And one across the top, and put them in there on top. Now I always put the onions in after, because I don't like to cook them too much. Not as much as you need to cook the garlic in that. But that's all ready, and then I just mix it all up, let it cook a little bit, and we'll be just about ready to test it. A little bit more herb. Can always never put enough herb. And it's nearly ready. I like to put it on a big plate. Nice square plate. Look at that. Perfect. So there's nothing like a bud and some nice steak with garlic on a Saturday night by the pool. Don't forget, next week I'm going to hook up Harlan Goldstein, Michelin star chef, see what he's going to cook up for us. Well, I'm going to have my steak, throw back a bud, catch up with you next week.